Hey everyone, fascinating chat today as we talk about how companies are redefining the way they find, train, and deploy tech talent worldwide with the head of Torc at Randstad Digital. Mike, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Evan?
Great to have you here. Really intrigued by what you guys are up to. Let's start at the top. How do you describe Torc these days and the role it plays within Randstad Digital?
Yeah, sure. So Torc is a talent marketplace. So for companies, organizations, large enterprises that are looking to find digital talent, Torc is the platform that will match them with that digital talent. So on one end, we have our customers, and then the other end, we've got now a community. To give you a little of a preview, so Torc was independent a year and a half ago. Say we were roughly 10 million in revenue running through the platform and about 30,000 people on the platform for talent. Today, now that we're part of Randstad Digital and we've put all of their digital business inside of us, at least in the North America, we are at about $1.5 billion running through the platform, and we have 3.1 million talent on the platform. So a huge expansion from where we were when we were acquired about a year and a half ago.
Fantastic. And we're in this moment where there's a race for AI skills.
Yes.
Traditional recruiting models are being turned upside down. So why is this the right strategic home for Torque right now?
Well, it's really about it's about scale. So at on our own as a private equity backed company, we were limited at our reach, right? We didn't have the breadth of the customer base, we didn't have a breadth of the talent base. Our brand wasn't well known. Now we're part of Randstad. Randstad as a whole, so not just digital. It's a global company, exists in probably just about every country around the globe in some way, shape, or form. They put to work about 750,000 people per year. So it's a giant organization with a huge amount of reach and a large global customer base. So for us, it's really access. We get this access to this global, customer base. These buyers looking for digital talent. We get access to their community of talent, which we onboarded into Torc, and we get the jobs, right? They have a steady stream. I mean, their job flow is consistent and it's high. And we've only just, I wouldn't say we scratched the surface, but the U.S. and India is where we focus so far from a customer and talent perspective. We had our LATAM business that we added on to that, so we kind of got those three areas of the globe covered. But we've got a lot more expansion to do in Europe, in Canada, in Australia. So there's still a lot more that we can do, and in Asia that I'm excited about.
Fantastic. How would you describe the reality of the tech talent market right now? For some, it's the best of times. Others, it's kind of the worst of times. Is it tight? It's shifting. It's difficult to get your arms around.
We are in something that I don't know about you, but in my lifetime, I've never seen this, and I don't know that we will see it again. And what I mean specifically is this investment into training people on new skills, specifically AI skills, right? A lot of it led by the White House and their initiatives, but there's tens of billions of dollars of commitment from the large
Hmm.
tech companies to train talent on AI skills, for strengthening our nation, for strengthening our workforce, for upskilling resources, all those great reasons, right? And that translates into over 100 million of people have been committed to get trained, right? You look at
Hmm.
OpenAI alone, they've committed to 10 million people trained by
Wow.
2030. So this investment, I am an optimist. I think it's going to be a good thing, but we're in this transition phase right now where you look one direction and there's companies that are cutting jobs and claiming AI is the reason why. And you look at the other direction and there's companies that are investing in training and upskilling their organization. I feel like it will move more towards that upskilling and training. So think about, I know when I graduated college way back when I didn't have gray hair, there were, you looked at some of these organizations like a GE, like a Raytheon, like an Accenture, that they invested so much in their
Mm,
talent, right? They had these leadership programs, these training programs, these, and a lot of that doesn't exist as much as it used to, right?
mm.
And I think this is an opportunity for companies to move back into that and be that workplace where it's like, hey, don't worry about it. Your skills are going out of date. You might get replaced. We've got you. We're going to train you. We're going to mentor you. We're going to upskill you. And they're going to build a workforce that's going to propel them into the future. And I think those companies are going to do really well. And I think the companies that are just looking to save a buck and have their Wall Street stock go up for a short period of time, because of an efficiency gain in cost, I think they're going to be looking and regretting losing that talent. So I'm an optimist, but that's kind of where I think things are going. So I wouldn't say it's the best of times. I wouldn't say it's the worst of times. I would say it's a, it's a, it's a teenage time, an awkward teenage time.
Makes sense. And speaking of AI and its impact, I mean, where's the real impact on recruitment and workforce development? I mean, you mentioned some amazing headlines, but beneath the headlines in the journal, what's happening on the ground where you see things firsthand?
Yeah, automation is a good thing when you increase the experience. So this is true for our think about our personal lives, right? Our ability to click a couple buttons and have my burrito ordered at 2 a.m. is a great thing. I can get it whenever I want, wherever I want, however I want. It's hot, it's ready to go. Now apply that to like a recruiting, industry. The experience has to increase in order for automation to really make sense, in my opinion, right? So what I mean by that is we can take a lot of those, what a recruiter used to do is, oh, hey, let me go get a list of people. Okay, let me go, email 250 people. Okay, let me find out that these 50 people said they're interested. Okay, which ones actually have the skills? Which ones are available? Now we can automate a lot of that. And instead of spending the time on pushing lists and moving paper, we can spend our time on saying, well, what is your career, what's your career goals? And does this line up with that? And then the company is like, hey, what are you looking for from this person? Not for just the next 30 days. What do you really want out of a new resource? Now that experience gets better. And that's where we are focused on at Randstad Digital, is how do we improve that experience for both our customers and our talent? My background from Torc and my previous life at building Topcoder, I love the talent side of this business. It makes me
Mm.
wake up in the morning. That's what drives me, like providing talent access to jobs and opportunities and career paths that they wouldn't have if there wasn't a platform in the middle of it. So for me, that's still the exciting part of it, is how do we make this a great experience for the talent?
Fantastic. Well, that's a great philosophy. In the meantime, we have a running joke, not so much a joke, of AI generated resumes, even whole candidates being sent to AI recruiters without a human to be seen. But you talk a lot about AI with humans in the loop. What does that look like day to day in hiring and delivery? What's your philosophy there?
It's you're going down the freeway and you're going as fast as you can legally, but every once in a while you got to off ramp, and you've got to go fill up for gas, or you got to go check on something, or use the restroom, or do something. That's a human in the loop model. It's when you need to off ramp, when you need assistance, it's there for you, it's there to help you, and it's educated, and it's highly trained, and it's highly skilled. Today there's a lot of off ramping, and as we get more mature and the technology gets better, there'll be less and less off ramping. So that's how we're looking at it. Like, we never want, there are models that are built just to stay on the freeway, and that's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to have we're looking to have off ramps wherever it makes sense for the talent, for the customer, and making sure we have high quality, skilled, associates on our side that are handling those needs. And I've always been a fan of human in the loop. I think that is the powerful model. Especially when you're dealing with complex things like hiring a software developer, hiring a digital talent, hiring a network architect is not a three clicks of the button. It's a little more complicated than that. Yeah, I mean that's what it looks like for us, is like how do we view the world of where it is today and what customers are looking for. I mean, customers still want to see a job description. Like, why does a job description exist anymore? Just because we're used to it is the only reason, right? Why does somebody ask me for a resume? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that's like I haven't had a business card in the last, I don't know, 15 years. Why would I have a resume? When you have LinkedIn out there, or you have your Randstad Digital Torc profile. So we're just not, we're slow to change. And as those things change, the human in the loop model will require less off ramps.
Well said. Yeah, I typically ask people to ask ChatGPT about me, and I get a much better description of my skills and what I'm doing than even I could put together in a resume. So I guess something's working there. In the meantime, enterprise IT teams are really struggling as they try to build AI-ready solutions and applications. What are some of the challenging points for getting that talent, that know-how into the enterprise, which, it's a huge hurdle.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the soft skills side of this business is a frontier that has not been cracked. Like it's how do you really know that this person is a good cultural fit? Not for the company, right? For that team, right? For that 5-person team that they're going to be a part of. Like, is this person a good fit culturally for that team? Are they a good fit? All the communication skills wise. And so I think that's still a huge area that we can innovate. We definitely can innovate. We definitely can apply technology and automation more and more. And AI is helping with that immensely. But I think that's one of the hurdles still. And that's, the other thing, just to kind of take it in a little different direction for a second, I think we're also in a time where, I'm a computer scientist by background, but I will tell you that I won't say that coding is being commoditized, but coding's no longer the hard part. It used to be that coding an e-commerce site that had a search engine and didn't, and could take a credit card was technically complicated. And that stuff is like table stake. Like, to build applications now is not very difficult, but to create a great experience is still extremely hard. And you see it everywhere. When you see a product that does it right, it pops out to you. Like a Sonos in the music world, an iPhone in the mobile space, a Spotify in the music apps. It's those products just pop out because their user experience drives you to them. And I think that's where a lot of our both technical talent and our domain expertise is gonna really need to be strong on. So, you got this merge of, yeah, you need to understand the technology, you need to understand the domain expertise, and you really need to understand the experience. Like, what are we trying to accomplish? And personally, I think you can apply that. You can apply that to the healthcare field. You can apply that to financial services. You can apply that to automotive. You can apply that to digital goods. Consumer and retail. Yeah.
Yeah, really well said. I mean, my son's a junior in college, and since he was 8, I was trying to get him to learn to code and get into computer science as I was, and he would have no part of that. I mean, he absolutely rejected that. So now he's an economics and statistics major, and what is he doing? He's learning to code through Claude, through through these no code, low code tools, ChatGPT and more, and he loves it. And he's building apps and he's using it in his studies. And it's like, but he's doing it on his terms, so he didn't have to grind through 12 years of computer science
Yeah.
classes to do it. So brave new world. Speaking of talent, what are some of the skills that are in highest demand, certifications otherwise, and emerging, skills that will matter most? You mentioned soft skills, but it's kind of hard to get a certification in soft skills. What would you recommend to that 20 something who's embarking into their career?
Yeah. I don't mean to simplify it, but the I think that the in-demand skills that we've traditionally had haven't disappeared.
Hmm.
They've just are now, they come with an AI expectation, right? So, I mean, in my world, it's easy to say, but it's like, okay, you want a Python developer that is an AI enabled Python developer, but I'd also put that true for somebody in marketing, right? Like there's somebody that has that, creative marketing mind and that creative marketing background that's AI enabled, and so I think that, and back to what I was saying at the beginning, this opportunity to take advantage, like every college student should be looking at, what is Microsoft putting out there via LinkedIn Learning that's for free for them to
Hmm.
learn AI skills and get a certification that sits in their resume. What is Google? Google Dreamer is Google Dreamers is a platform that Google has where you can go and you
Hmm.
can get AI certifications. OpenAI certifications is another platform where you can go and jump into these and earn these credentials that are going to get you the job, that your next job. Like that's my advice. Yeah, that's my advice. Yeah.
Wonderful advice. Um, what about the modalities? I mean, you have a unique insight into learning. I mean, there's community-based learning, there's self-learning, ongoing learning, earning while learning models. Any models there proven super successful for your clients and your teams?
Yeah. I mean, I'll just give you my opinion on this one. I think, and mostly from a parent perspective, um, my kids all have different learning styles. You said it too.
Hmm.
Like your son is learning how to code on his own terms. And some of my kids are not the traditional sit in a lecture hall type of students. They want to go do their projects on their own and experiment and try things. So I do think that the learning style, you have options, which is lucky. Like we didn't have options when we were kids. It was sit and listen and take out your pencil. It was there wasn't options. They now have options, and I think allowing people to be. I said I had a conversation with one of my kids recently, and I said, listen, our relationship is changing. I'm stepping away from being an approver to being an advisor. And
Hmm.
like it's your time to go and experiment and try things out and be your own person. Start your one person company. Why not? So I think, just to answer the question, I think there's plenty of options on how to learn. You can learn the traditional route. You can go and do it on your own. You can do it as part of a experiment. You can do it in all sorts of different ways, but it's whatever works for the person.
Yes, personalization is such a key now. Looking into the future at Torc and Randstad Digital, any peek into the future in terms of roadmap or new initiatives? What's up for 2026? What are you most excited about?
Yeah, we are going to be launching a digital marketplace on the customer side. So we're heavily focused on the talent side on the
Hmm.
Torque platform today, and we will be launching what we think is kind of one of the next generation um, customer front end to be able
Hmm.
to find talent, and I'll pull this all together for you in My one of my goals of this is like, can we finally get away from needing a job description? And we have
Mm,
a roadmap that kind of takes us to a path where eventually it's not needed, right? Like, you'll still have an ability if that's really how you want to work, and that's really how you want to look at it. We'll have a path for that, but we're going to have all these other paths that are going to be much easier. We're all really comfortable on telling a prompt what we want and what we're looking for and how we want it, and talking back and forth with that prompt. We're all very comfortable speaking, verbally and saying this is what we want. We've grown up in a world where we compare people together, where it's like, hey, I just want something just like this, like
mm.
mirror this for me. So there's all these different ways that we can give companies to find their next generation talent, and that's some of the innovation that we're going to be working on coming out next year.
Well, congratulations. Sounds fascinating. Can't wait to see an update. And thanks for joining and sharing your philosophy and vision and mission at Torc.
Yeah, great. Appreciate your time, and yeah, thanks for having me.
And thanks everyone for listening, watching, sharing this episode. Also check out the TV show, techimpact.tv, now on Bloomberg TV and Fox Business. Thanks everyone. Thanks, Mike.